everybody, it's Chris Eads, known online as Wootini, here with another one of my Gay Gamer video podcasts. Quick movie review. I went to see the new Jumanji movie. Basically, just to get my money's worth out of my AMC A-list membership, because there isn't a lot at the beginning of December. I'm going to get my money's worth because I'm seeing Star Wars twice already, and I plan on seeing Cats. And of course I see them in IMAX and stuff, so I'll get my money's worth, but I still like to see at least, 3 or 4 movies a month, just to make it worthwhile. So this was one of those movies where I say, I'll go. And it was in 3D, so, I can see it in 3D, and that's at least something. Although the 3D was kind of a letdown, it wasn't as good as the 3D in the first one. It was sort of there. It's almost like the director forgot this one was going to be in 3D, because he'd shot stuff in the first one, for 3D, and in this one he was just sort of like, oh wait, 3D, oops, and at the very end there's like a good 3D shot, and you're like, yay. Unfortunately, these Jumanji movies don't really work for me. They're not great. I wish that they would just be action movies, and stop trying to be a comedy, because they're not as funny as they think they are, and they're not really that funny at all. If it was just a lighthearted action movie, I think that the characters would have enough comedy in it, and it would still be fun. But when they try to do jokes, they don't land. And it's kind of sad. Because the premise is solid. The execution is just flawed. I do wish that they would have done more with the actual video game premise. Like, the video game jokes, again, the jokes aren't great, but they don't use the video game premise enough. And I think that video games are mainstream enough now that you can get away with it, and people will understand, beyond just an NPC and having to explain that and whatever, But what are you going to do? And especially frustrating this was basically just the same as the first movie, just more characters and different locations. But basically the same movie. And it isn't until the very, very end where they set up a sequel, which is what I realized this one should have been. But who knows if we'll get a third one. I don't think we will, but if we do, and they follow through on that angle, it'll be a much more interesting movie, and it won't just be more of the same. But that's why they probably won't do it. Why be creative? And speaking of gaming, I continue to work my way through Luigis Mansion, and collecting the elevator buttons, and I felt like I was doing really well. I actually noticed that I had collected what looked like about half of the elevator buttons, and then in fact Professor Egad contacted me and said, hey, you're doing pretty well, you're halfway there. And I'm like, am I? And then I realized, yes, this isn't Dragon Quest where the end of the game is suddenly revealed to be the halfway point. This is Luigi's Mansion, where the halfway point is probably going to be the halfway point. So I think I'm about halfway done with the game now. But I have not been playing as much Luigi's Mansion as I should be, because I'm only playing it portably. Because when I get home, I've still been playing a lot of No Man's Sky. I got back into it last week to check out the update and to relieve some stress, and I just can't stop playing. And it's not because of the update, because the update didn't really do anything. Although I have been playing a lot in VR, and I was able to ride a creature in VR, and that was pretty cool. But I will sometimes not want to hook up the VR headset, and I will play on the TV. I will also play on the TV specifically if I want to take a picture of something. There was one planet where there was this big ringed planet hanging over the horizon, and I was like, oh my god, it's the perfect backdrop. I just need to find the perfect foreground to pose on. And I am not ashamed to say that I spent a good 20 minutes or so going from rock to rock to rock, swimming through a bay or lake or whatever to get to that rock over there, because that rock over there was just perfect. And I spent about 20 minutes setting up a photo that was totally worth it, because it's like one of the best photos I've taken in No Man's Sky, and it's got a lot of likes on Twitter and everything. I was very proud of it. But I just can't stop playing it. It's just, I've just gotten sucked right back in again. But that's what happens. Also, as you may know, I am still playing Animal Crossing every day, obviously. And last week, one of my coworkers, who is also a gamer, she reminded me that there's 100 days left until Animal Crossing New Horizons. And I was like, oh my god, that's right. Like, March 20th will be here very soon. Because when they announced March 20th, it was like, oh no, it's not going to be out for the holidays, we've got to wait until next year, this sucks, it's so far away. But now it's like December, and it's like almost December 20th, so it's like 3 months, and there it is. It's right there, it's coming out. And I'm not ashamed to say that I'm totally taking that Friday, the 20th, off work. I will be taking Friday, March 20th, off work. Obviously, I'm pre-ordering the game, and it's probably going to pre-download onto my Switch and then unlock at midnight. But I'm not moving to my new town at midnight, because who would do that? I don't want it to be midnight when I get there. I want it to be morning. So I'll get up in the morning, and then I'll immediately just start playing Animal Crossing, and then I'll just play it all day, probably. No, not all day, because you can't play it all day. It's meant to be played in small, bite-sized pieces. But I am really looking forward to, I'm assuming, in January or February, we're going to get a nice big Nintendo Direct giving out lots of details on this game. Because I really need to know more about New Horizons, because I am still nervous. As a huge Animal Crossing fan, I'm a little nervous, because this one, they're changing things, and it makes me nervous. Like, so far in the Animal Crossing games, the changes have been minor, you know? And now, there's an island, and you're living in a tent, and then it's like, how do you build up the town? Do you build up a town? Will there be a store? Will there be a cafe? Will there be, like, civilization? Or does it remain like a deserted island? Obviously it's not going to be a deserted island because there's going to be people all over it. Animals everywhere. But, like, I just need to know that at some point you're going to get it to be a town. And, you know, there will be shops and things, because I'm going to miss that main street with all of the stuff on it. And I'm super nervous about the crafting, because, as you might recall from the episode where I bitched about this when I tried Pocket Camp, I didn't like Pocket Camp because of the crafting. Now granted, this won't be a mobile game, so you're not going to have to craft it and say, oh, I'll come back in 12 hours and it'll be done. Here, you'll just craft it and it'll be done. So that'll help a lot, but I need to also be able to just buy furniture if I want. I need the crafting to be kind of optional. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you want a specific piece of furniture, like, oh, there's no tables on sale, but I need a table, I'll make a table. You know, like that kind of thing. That would be fine. But I don't want to have to craft, because that's the whole point of Animal Crossing, is that you don't have to do anything. And that's why I didn't like Pocket Camp, because Pocket Camp you couldn't enjoy unless you did things, so you had to do certain things in order to enjoy the game. And there is one feature that I really wish that they would add to Animal Crossing, and that is the ability to say goodbye and move out of your town. Like, it made sense in the beginning, like, they didn't know it would be a success and there'd be all these sequels, but like, once they got to the Wii game, it's like, you could kind of add that as a feature, because you know you're going to make another Animal Crossing game, and we're all going to abandon that town and move into a new one. And I just think, I get very attached to my Animal Crossing towns, and it hurts to say goodbye. And the only option is to delete the town, which I don't want to delete the town. That's horrific. I had to do that once with my old DS game so that I could give it to my niece so that she could play it. And it crushed my soul a little to delete that town. It's horrifying. So I don't want to delete it, but I also don't want to just abandon it. You know, I want to be able to like move out. That would be a nice way. And then you can like say goodbye to everybody and there could be like a little going away party kind of a thing, and then you can leave. And that would be awesome. As it is, you just sort of leave. And then I don't want to go back, because I'm not going to go back because I'm going to be in my new town and I'm going to be very busy there. So I'm not going to go to 2 towns. It'll be a long time before I even think about my old town again, and I'm not going to go back there because after a certain amount of time, it's going to be overrun with weeds, all my beautiful hybrid flowers will be dead, half my friends will have moved away, the rest of them are going to be like, where the hell have you been? And it's going to make me sad. So I won't ever go back there again. So I wish they'd let me move out. Please add that, Nintendo. That would be a lovely feature to your Animal Crossing games. Because some of us are weird and we get very attached to our Animal Crossing towns. Especially after I've been playing this one, I've been living in this one for like 6 or 7 years now. But I just need more details, because I'm just nervous. And because it's like my favorite game is Animal Crossing, and I just need it to still be good. It was okay for me to say, oh, I don't care about Pocket Camp, because that's just this mobile side thing. It's not the core Animal Crossing game. If the core Animal Crossing game I don't like, that's going to be a problem. It's going to make me sad. So, I've rambled on long enough this week and vented my concerns about Animal Crossing. Thank you all for listening so much. And I will see you back here again for the next episode, where I will ramble on about something else. Come back and find out what it is. Bye!